let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go. Six. It's beautiful. Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up, and let's go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Monday. The Cyhawk hangover is still hanging over us. Even if you won or if you lost, I mean, you probably have a hangover, right? Because it was an emotional week. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushladio.com, on the Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Good to have all the YouTubers with us this morning. Make sure to hit subscribe to that channel. Give this video a like. Start leaving your comments in the comments section. And you can follow us on X at Rush Mornings. Like our Facebook page, The Rush with Travis and Ross. And, of course, follow us on Instagram, The Rush Radio Show. Hello, Ross Peterson. We're feeling blue today. We're feeling blue.
Yeah, how about that? Didn't plan that at all.
Yeah, well, when I got done spooning you this morning, I said, "Honey, what are you going to wear this morning?" I'm going to wear my brand new Kirkland Costco quarter zip.
And you, of course, see yourself as Big Spoon in this relationship.
I am Big Spoon. I am Big Spoon.
Yeah, well, I see that as Jetpack. Have we talked about this yet?
No.
Yeah. You're never the little spoon. Okay, guys? Never the little spoon. But you can play astronaut, and she can be your Jetpack.
Oh. Or you're her Jetpack. Because you need to be behind her.
So follow me.
Okay, I'm following.
There's two types of spooning, right? You're either little spoon or big spoon, as you would normally refer to it. And you're always like, well, I always got to be big spoon because I have insecurities and I need to be the big spoon. But what I'm saying to you is, you don't have to look at it as big spoon, little spoon. You can look at it as big spoon astronaut. You're either the big spoon or you're the astronaut. And if you're the astronaut, she's your Jetpack. Never mind. It's Monday. I'm in a goofy mood. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna warn you. I'm gonna be on. When you started the show and you're like, Cyhawk game, I literally was like, oh yeah, that was Saturday. Oh yeah, we're probably gonna talk about that today, aren't we? I didn't think about that. We're probably gonna talk about that a little bit, aren't we? Because we talked about it for a couple hours Saturday night. It was a lot of fun. I feel like I got a lot of that therapy out of my head. But you're right, a lot of Cyhawk today. I want to talk about the Phillies. Karen, did you see that video?
Oh yeah, I got it on the rundown. I mean, let's just start there. I mean,
I had a bunch of other thoughts. Okay, all right, let's start there.
Besides locally with the Cyhawk game dominating the conversation, and we'll get into Iowa State moving up in the polls and what's next for Iowa. But I think probably the most viewed video over the weekend wasn't a highlight, wasn't an NFL game. It was the social media replay of a woman in Miami wearing a Phillies jersey who hunted down a dad to get a ball back. A ball. We're talking about a baseball here. And man, what is up with people? What is up with people?
Tyler wrote that she got fired. I can only imagine. Oh, she was a school administrator? Tell me that's not true. Tell me that lady's not a school administrator.
I saw a number of different things that she was. You know, there were names. I actually, Ross, by the end of the weekend, I started feeling sorry for her. I really did. I started feeling sorry for her because people were putting what her job was, putting what her name out there was, and knowing human beings in today's internet world, it becomes a vicious, vicious attack. And what she did was wrong. Most of us are decent human beings who'd say, hey, kid, have the baseball. You gave it to your son. You get that?
I got a different take on this, dude. Most of what you said there is true. It's unacceptable. She shouldn't have done this. The internet did what they did, and now, and then of course it's the I talk about this all the time, man. It is the reaction to the reaction that is the thing you got to look out for. Something stinks to me on this. All right, something doesn't look right in this situation to me. You didn't by chance pull the video out because I didn't know. I honestly didn't. I didn't think we were going to get to this, and so I wrote it down as like one of those rabbit holes we'd maybe get to for a moment.
No, it was like one of the first stories I put on the rundown. I was like,
but I really did. Something is weird here. I want to be very clear. First thing, the lady's wrong. Karen's out of line, going over there and taking the ball from the kid. That's ridiculous. Something smells to me on this. And I got to be careful. I got to build a really safe space before I say what I'm about to say. The woman is wrong. She should not have done what she did. She goes out of line. She reacts. She shouldn't approach the dad. It's a home run ball. Whoever grabs it, grabs it. Doesn't belong to anybody. Something is weird about the way that dad reacts.
You mean when he went like that? When he looked startled?
Weird with that. He goes over and he hands the ball and he's like huggy, happy moment. And he even kind of turns his back a little bit. The woman gets over there and he has this like almost like a bad actor reaction to me. I don't know what was said or what. It's a moment. If you see the whole thing, I mean, they're not sitting by each other. The dude literally comes running across, grabs the ball, and runs back. I can't imagine what he could have said. It doesn't even look like anything could have been said. He goes over, he reaches down, he grabs the ball, and he comes running back. And he hugs his kid. And there's that great moment. And again, Tyler, damn it. I tried to build the safe space, Tyler. The woman was wrong. The woman was wrong. The woman should not have done anything that she did. Something smells funky to me when that dude reacts the way he does. That's not the way a dad would react in that moment with your kid. That's I'm again projecting on what I think I would react. I just think he knew that she was coming. I think that he kind of had the idea of like, okay, the camera's on me. I don't think it was staged. I want to be careful. I don't think they knew each other. I think this woman overreacted. Safe space, Ethan. Safe space. The woman overreacted. The woman is in the wrong. The woman acted horribly. She should not have done that. It's a little kid having a memory of a lifetime. Something's odd about the way that dad reacts. I don't know how to say it. Like, I don't know. I think the dad, something tells me that the dad like was a step ahead of this in some way. He just reacts in a very unnatural way.
Almost
Christian says, get to the point, Ross. I don't know what my point is other than something's odd about the way the dad reacts to it. That's my only point is Karen is a Karen. She's awful. She shouldn't have done it. The internet shouldn't have gone after her life. But something's weird about the way that dad goes like. And then the kid, did you see what the kid got? The kid ended up getting down to the Phillies locker room, ended up with like all sorts of swag.
Yeah, what he got was much better than a home run ball. Because he got a package from the Marlins. The Marlins showed up and went into the row, gave him and then all of a sudden the Phillies bring him down to the dugout or the clubhouse. They give him a signed bat. He gets to meet Philly players. He scored much bigger than what he would have originally done with the home run ball. And the freaky thing about the home run ball is this: unless you catch said home run ball or the home run ball is in your hand, it's fair game, right? I mean, they're at a Marlins game. They're up in the it looked like the upper deck.
There's 9 people in the section.
Yes. And he did go over probably, I don't know, 10, 15 seats, grabbed it out of the row. She says he took it out of her hands. That did not happen. The ball was not in her hand. Now, she was the closest to the ball. I'll concede that. But if the ball's not in your hand, the ball's up for grabs. It just is. And Ross, this might be what you're thinking in the fact that as he's walking away, she could be yelling something at him. I'm coming after you. I'm coming to get that ball. I'm coming to get that ball, knowing that she's coming. And then that reaction.
It's just odd. I don't know what I don't know what it is. The comment section is on fire this morning. This is my favorite. Ken says, you guys missed it? She went down to the locker room and took all that kid's stuff there too. And she said if they give him more stuff, even if they send it to his house, she's going to go there and get that too. Bad deal. I'm sorry.
With cell phones today, with TV cameras today, nothing is off. And it's amazing to me. I rarely bring my phone out to shoot video. If it is, it's pre-planned stuff, right? People were rolling their phones when that ball was hit, and I'm like, who thinks of having their phone on at that time?
It is a dude. If you throw 1,000 darts at the dartboard, you're going. There's so many people with their phone. Even when there's 9 people in a section, Travis, just pay attention in the society, dude. How many people are on their phones? If you have 10 people hanging out in any space, 5 of them are on their phone at a live event. 5 of them are on their phone, and 3 of them are streaming live or videotaping or something, like constantly. And then after it happened, that's when, after it happens is when you start to get all this amazing stuff. I mean, you see that she ended up like accosting a dude in a Phillies jersey, and then other fans,
the crowd off.
Yeah, other people are screaming at her. She ends up flipping them off. She's wrong. First filter. Lady's wrong. Crazy Karen. Way down here at the bottom. Conspiracy theory Ross's brain. Something's weird about the way that guy reacts. If I put it in that situation. If I'm there with my kid, if you truly don't even recognize what's going on, then all of a sudden that lady comes up behind you. I can't imagine my reaction being one of like, oh. And so I don't know. I don't know what else I'm saying except for I saw the video. My first reaction to it was, this lady's crazy. And my second reaction was, why'd she take the ball from that kid? And then my third reaction was, why'd the dad give it to her? Like the entire video takes 9 seconds from him getting the ball, walking back, hugging his son. And then she and he goes, oh, and he's like, okay, fine. You know what? Take it, walk away.
But you see,
get the fuck. What are you doing? I would have made for the first time in my life, my daughter would have seen me be mean to a woman. I'm serious. I would have said, who the do you think you are? Get that haircut out of here. Jesus.
And he's being deemed a hero today because he didn't yell at her. And think about it, and this goes to your conspiracy theory. He people are like, look at the way he handled the situation. He didn't yell at her, and instead of escalating the situation, he went ahead and just gave her the ball, and he became the hero in how to act in such a situation. Don't be a Karen, be that dude. Be above the fray.
All right. Luann asked me if I'd seen his quote, which I have not. So I just kind of Googled that. NBC News has a quote from him, says, and then here she comes. Someone touched my arm, and then she just screamed in my ear. That's my ball. Like so loud. Again, I don't want to, I want to be, the lady's crazy. It's wild. You shouldn't do that. Some guys are saying this is just a beta male. This is just a weenie. I'm a weenie. I can't imagine any of my friends having this reaction of like, he literally quivers. but it's not even a normal, like, Jesus. I wish we had the video up. That's all right. That's all right. We got so much other stuff to talk about. And that was my reaction. I'm sorry. We should have talked about the lady and how awful she was. And instead,
how would you have reacted in that situation?
I don't know. But I don't. Again, I'm not even saying that it was. I don't know. It just was odd. That's what jumped out of the video to me, was the way the dad reacted when the lady came over. All the other stuff I feel like we've seen before. You know what I mean? You see stuff in crowds. This crazy Karens. We've all seen crazy Karen. We've seen that in the flesh. I don't know what it was. That's all that dude quiver. And I'm like, what? Have you ever seen the video of the guy who gets up? I don't know why this came into my brain. Have you ever seen the video of the guy who gets up in front of the congregation to let everybody know that he's been delivered?
Delivered or saved?
I'm not gay no more. I don't like men's no more. I like women. And he goes, that's a quiver. That's a person that's genuinely uncomfortable with their surroundings, with the words that are coming out of their mouth. Women. This dad that does this thing of, like, again, it looked like a bad actor to me. I don't know what else to say. I think he saw it coming. I don't know if he.
There had to be a point when dad took the ball from the son and gave it to her, where the son's like,
yes, I'd been like, the.
Dad, did you just cave? You just caved that quick?
That in seconds? It took you caved quicker than you did to go get the ball and get back. You were gone from the family faster than you caved. Jay says, I work with a guy that reacts that way when you startle him. Oh, okay, Luann. Luann says, there was a fork in the road moment. I knew I could go one direction and then probably regret it, or go this direction and do something in front of my kids that seemed like a teaching moment. That's a good quote. That makes a little bit more sense. I don't want to paint the dad as the bad guy. I don't. I'm just saying it seemed like a weird. Anyway, while we're on it, I mean, did you feel sorry for the woman at all with all the internet stuff? Well, I mean, okay, with all the internet backlash stuff, yeah, thank you for, yes, Travis. In the moment watching the video, obviously not. She's 100% the Cruella de Vil. I'd hate that this is what happens, and this is the game we play, dude. This is what the internet does. You do something stupid like this, and then she doubles down by flipping off the crowd and confronting other people. And that is, I think, indicative of your personality. And if I don't know, Ethan said it wasn't true about her being a school administrator. Dude from Iowa, actions have consequences. That's always an important thing to remember. You're free to do and say whatever you want to do and say. And then the world is free to do and react the way they want. We all got freedoms. It's the FAFO formula. And this lady thought, I hate that it turns into this. Like her name is out there now. You can, I'd been much more fun if she was Philly's Karen, and that was something she had to deal with in her personal life or something. Now, when you Google the lady's name, she buys a house in the villages in Florida, and her neighbors Google her, and they're like, "Holy sh!"
Well, I think that's the thing that bothers me is that as soon as this happened, it was somebody's mission to go find what her name was, what her occupation was, and to get it out there just so her life would be ruined. I mean, we're talking about a baseball here. Right. And at the end of the day, the kid scored pretty good. Once you saw the kid went into the clubhouse, you went, okay, bat, autographed, meet a player.
Ken's comment. Oh, you guys didn't see? She went down to the locker room and stole all that stuff from the kid. She was waiting in the parking lot. Turned out it was bad deal.
Does she go to work today? Does she walk into the office and say, hey, everybody, what's going on? What'd you do this weekend? I stole a kid's ball.
And I do think, there are a lot of folks that are saying it's the world we live in also, where the guy was actually thinking that. The guy was actually thinking, Jesus, cameras are on me. This lady here, this can be over right now. Watch, kids. I just diffused the situation. That's how you get rid of things. Because that's true. What would have happened if the guy would have turned around and said, you? What would happen then? Now we have a fist fight. Her husband looked like a big guy that just didn't want to say anything to her. I feel sorry for those guys, dude. Like, man.
Her husband looked really big. It's like you rarely see two alphas married. Usually they're opposites, and you're like, "Oh, you got two alphas in the household." I bet they have some drop down, drag out fights.
He has to sit there and think, "Here we go again." All right, I'm gonna have to beat some ass here to get out of the game, aren't I? All right, I can kick that guy's ass in front of his kids. I can kick that guy's.
You wonder if they just end up leaving the section because fans were all over them.
I thought that they did. I thought that I saw a video of them basically walking out. And all right. Can I tell you a funny story I had from yesterday?
Sure.
I don't care about this anymore. I golfed in two-time defending champion in the annual Kevin Lundberg Pins and Aces tournament.
Is this where you got the $100,000 Walmart check last year?
$25,000 Walmart. I got a check that says $25,000, and it's from Walmart. Now we'll see how Walmart reacts when I take it in there and try to cash in. We have a lot of fun talking about that. But anyway, went for the three-peat yesterday, and let me tell you, dude, I felt the weight that Michael Jordan and the Bulls felt. I felt the weight that Pat Riley and the Lakers felt. I felt the weight that back-to-back champions carry when they go into a third time, and I couldn't hold on. I failed. My buddy Scott played outstanding. I played like shit. But something wild happened on the course yesterday, okay? So on like hole 3, I hit an errant shot. And Travis, what happens when I hit an errant shot? What am I coming back with if I hit an errant shot?
If Ross hits an errant shot, he's going to go into the woods and he's going to find his ball plus probably 6 or 7 others.
Bang, bang.
And he's going to slow the day down by spending at least 10 minutes in there.
We're in an outing. There's, you know what I mean? You got time. I find this Callaway, right? And it's got green 4-leaf clovers all over it. It's a lucky Callaway, Travis. And it's got Vinny written in great big letters on it. I'm like, check it out. We got Vinny. Vinny's part of the team now. Here we go, Vinny. Yeah, lucky Vinny, right? Trav, we lipped out like 5 birdie putts. I'm not kidding, dude. We had 5 different birdie putts. And Chris I hit a lot of bad shots yesterday. I had a lot of putts that were lipped out. So on like 14, my buddy Scott's like, I just figured out what the problem is. It's Vinny. Vinny is off the team, and he grabs Vinny from the cart, and he turns towards the woods, and he chucks this ball into the woods off the course.
That had to give you anxiety for how much you like to look for balls. You're like,
I didn't care. Travis, the ball travels about 30 yards off the course into the woods, and we hear it. Can't even see it. We hear it. Bang! Hit a tree. And it shoots right back out of the woods, right between my friend and I. Well, I think Vinny wants to be on the team. He tried to get rid of the ball. The ball was cursed. The ball was cursed. He chucks it. We're done with this. Ha! Doink! Here it comes right back. Like, you think you're getting rid of me?
So did you keep Vinny around for the rest of the round?
We did, and it didn't. And again, bad juju. So somewhere out at Toad Valley right now, there is a cursed Callaway golf ball. Good luck.
So you made sure to leave Vinny there. You're like,
somebody else. I'm warning whoever's out there. Good luck. If you pick up Vinny, shoot me a photo of him And give him one of these for me, will you? Give him one of those.
Because he cost Ross several birdie putts.
I'm mostly no excuses, dude. No excuses, but mostly the cursed ball's fault.
Hey, a quick reminder that here in Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn benefits the entire state. It feeds our livestock, nourishes our family, and provides homegrown, clean-burning, unleaded 88 for our vehicles. Pump it up with unleaded 88. Go to iowacorn.org. This is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
The Royal Mile, where everyone's a wee bit British. The Royal Mile is downtown Des Moines' living room with classic pub favourites. Pair them with a glass of whiskey or an expertly poured Guinness. It's bloody brilliant. The Royal Mile, a proper British pub.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
The heat of summer is here. Have you had your vehicle safety inspected lately? With any service at Willis Chevy, we include a free multi-point inspection along with a video multi-point inspection. Our GM certified technicians will check your fluids, tires, suspension, brakes, and everything else underneath your vehicle. Come see us today for your inspection to make sure your vehicle is ready for that road trip or ready for the kids to go back to school. Schedule online today at willischevy.com.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Coming up on September 16th, you're going to want to be at Willis Automotive at 4:45 as they unveil the 2026 editions of their models and everything. It's going to be stadium-themed food, drinks, live music, new cars. It's a testosterone fest.
I swear, if you want to feel a car, and I don't mean touch it. I don't mean walk up and touch the car. What I mean is if you want to walk into a room and go, whoa. Travis, you've done it. You and I did it with two different cars that looked similar. Dude, those Cadillacs, that Blackwing, you didn't like the Blackwing. You liked
No, I like the Blackwing. I just looked at the price tag and said, can't afford the Blackwing. And then I found out why, because the Blackwing has the Vet engine in it. And Jason was like, well, I go, why is the Blackwing more than the one that looks just like it? He goes, well, that's like a custom made. It's got the Corvette engine in it. And I'm like, oh, that makes a lot more sense to me. Right? Then they had the other one. But then my wife was like, maybe we should go to Willis and check out the Cadillac EVs, because Cadillac is starting to rival like Tesla and others when it comes to the EVs. And I'm like, oh, you're starting to get into an EV mood. Okay, maybe. And now that I'm a grandpa, now that I'm an empty nester, maybe the Cadillac is the way to go. Maybe it's time for a Caddy.
Yeah, dude, Caddies are incredible. They're exactly what you remember. You know what I mean? My dad had one when I was a kid for a little while. I'm going to blow some people's minds because I saw this get mentioned on the chat. My dad worked at a place called CDS for a while, and he worked at UPS when my dad moved to Central Iowa because working at UPS. So for a little while, he drove a Cadillac. And it's just like it's what you think. You're like, isn't that like the brand of luxury? Yeah. Yeah. Can you look at them and find anything wrong? No. So do it. I'm with Ryan. Do it.
So Ross is going to be doing the show live from Willis on the 16th.
Yes.
And then him and I are both going to be at the unveiling. I'm going to come up on that afternoon.
Nice.
And we're going to be hanging out at Willis. We're going to be drinking. We're going to be having fun. We're going to be hopping in cars and having a lot of fun. So again, September 16th from 4:45 to 7, I think it is.
Yeah. Perfect.
So, and if you buy a car, even both, we'll take a picture with you. Buy your new car. Get that 2026 model. Ross, of course, the Cyhawk game over the weekend, Iowa State gets a 54-yard field goal to seal the deal as they win at home for the first time since 2011. Kind of a hangover. We had a great black and gold rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios on Saturday night. A lot of people called in, a lot of reaction. Let's start with Iowa State. The Cyclones now 3-0 on the season. They move up to number 14 in the Associated Press and the coaches poll. Highest ranked Big 12 team in the poll. You have Utah in there as well. Texas Tech is also ranked. But things setting up well for Iowa State, who just in pressure situations, the experience of a Rocco Beck pays off. I mean, they have a lot of experience at running back and other positions. But when you have a quarterback that's calm, cool, collected, has balls of steel, that makes all the difference in the world.
Playmaker.
Yes.
Baller. Dude. You get a lot of when you're you get a lot of these words that pop up for a guy that just rises to the occasion. Tip of the cap to Matt Campbell and his staff for continuously having great quarterbacks in the room and then allowing those guys to be the playmakers that they are. That's if there's one giant gap, because Coach Ferentz and Coach Campbell are very similar. I love some of our comments from Saturday night that were basically like, man, you don't see Iowa get out Iowa very often. You don't see Coach Ferentz get Coach Ferentz very often. So what happened? End of the game, You just squeeze the clock down, you get that field goal, you go home with the victory because your defense can lock down the other team. And Iowa's offense is just not built for any sort of 2-minute drill. And you see that all throughout the game. You see it throughout the game. There's zero want, desire, ability to move the ball vertically down the field. And all those things are hyperbolic. Do they want to throw the ball down the field? Well, yeah, they'd like to. But where is it in the game plan? It's way down the chart. It's frustrating, Travis, because it's the same story as far as the quarterback. The line for the quarterback is always the same. He threw for 84 freaking yards. And then afterwards, Kluver's on with us on Saturday. He's like, it's not that bad of a game. It's the lowest total yards after 2 starts in an FBS career with 35 attempts or more ever. The kid that he beat was a Northwestern quarterback that actually got signed in the NFL as a running back. Like, it's bad. And you can say, and everybody's going to do the same thing that we did last year. We're going to go, Deacon Hill. Who brought him in as a quarterback? Isn't he a scholarship quarterback? Isn't he second on the depth chart behind Cade McNamara? Well, whose fault is that? We all make fun of the kid. And now we'll do the same thing with this, because Mark Gronowski's, listen, he made a couple of nice plays. He kept a couple of plays live. He played better than he did in week 1, which, by the way, pretty low freaking bar to set. Week 1. Came out and played better than that and made a few plays, threw a couple of nice balls, and a couple of balls got dropped. All of those things are true. He also had a couple balls that got caught that were shoestring catches that weren't thrown well. I love Coach Ferentz. The quarterback evaluation talent development is a negative on this team and has been now for the last 5 years. They're either not identifying talent, or they can't utilize it, or they can't develop it, or they're struggling somewhere in there, and you can see it. You can see when you've got a Brock Purdy and you follow that up with a Rocco Becht. And remember, Rocco Becht they had a guy that was better than him. He was going to be the backup. They had Hunter Deckers, who only got bounced out because of some crappy investigation thing. Matt Campbell is killing it.
And killing it in because we talked about it last week, how him and Kirk Ferentz are very similar, but the difference is, and Pat Forty from Sports Illustrated wrote an article today about Kirk Ferentz has mentioned it, how it doesn't matter if it's the head coach, the quarterback, the coordinator. When you run an offense that is not adapting with the times, how frustrating is it as a fan base to watch it? Now, because you have highs and lows, and meaning the high was when they put that 9.5 minute drive together and they got into a rhythm. You're like, okay, Iowa football. But then when they needed it the most, you knew when they got into the 2-minute drill, they had plenty of time to tie that football game.
But so we can't. I would say this: we kind of fall into the trap there, and we can't have it both ways. Meaning, if Iowa football, if what we makes us grunt, Iowa football is 3 yards in a cloud of dust, like you described there, then you can't have 2-minute drill offense. If what you want to build your identity on is being the team that does 3 yards in a cloud of dust, that we're now, you know where that came from? That's the end of Hayden Fry's era. That's the end of Hayden Fry's era. He's going to run the ball into the line here and figure out what happens as the game goes. Nobody wants to go back to that. And I don't think we're edging that way. I think Kirk Ferentz's program is in a good spot, not great spot. In a good spot. I think this is the one thing that seems to hold it back is, and I think you could say offensive scheme in some way. We could have the exact same conversations about the wide receivers don't get any separation. When you throw a ball and complete a pass, it's in tight windows. Unless it's to a running back in the flat for 3 yards or a tight end who's cutting like it's the same thing. And then it's hard to say, like, this is why I love having Kluver on, man. It's such good conversations. Because I want to go, well, damn it, it's Coach Ferentz. Coach Ferentz doesn't call the offense. He doesn't call the plays. Well, then he's got to hire people that call different plays. Because this offense looks like the same offense, looks like the same offense, looks like the same offense. You can go back to what was Greg Davis?
Greg Davis.
When we all wanted to fire Greg Davis, fire Ken O'Keefe, fire Brian Ferentz, fire Tim Lester. And then it's this year, it's like, this last couple years, it's like, oh, no, you don't see the difference? Now when we do the RPO, we slow it down, which I did like. I did like that little mesh thing that they were doing. That was kind of fun. You don't see the differences? Nope. I watched a quarterback go 50% and throw for 84 yards, average like 3 yards per attempt or something like that. Worst two starts in FBS history. That's what I watched.
From a passing situation.
Yes. And then also, I guess we can throw in that he ran the ball 16 times for 30-some yards. That's not Hawkeye football. That's not Hawkeye football, right? I mean, we don't want that to be our identity. A quarterback that's scrambling for his life and getting a couple of yards per carry every time he crosses the line. That's not Hawkeye football. You can't have it both ways. If you like the 3 yards in a cloud of dust that you get on those long drives, which I'm with you, Trav, you watch that and you go, yeah, road graders, here we go. Then when you need to throw the ball and your quarterback is running around back there, your wide receivers can't get open. Offensive line did a great job. Several times, Gronowski had several seconds back there. He's bouncing from hash to hash, looking downfield. That's a great job by the offensive line. Where are the receivers? They can't get open.
Call me crazy here, and you're going to have to back me off a ledge. But we watched Alabama put up 70 points. We watched Oregon put up 60 points. We watched Nebraska, put up 60 points. I was favored by over 30 against UMass this weekend. Ross, they've got to cover. They've got to go out and kick the crap out of.
It's UMass. If they don't go out and run the ball down the field 8 times, I guess you're right. You're I get to your point. You're right. They got to score, dude. But you
just got to run it up. You've got to beat the crap out of somebody to just make people feel good about them. Because at the end, you do answer to a fan base. You do, whether it's right or wrong. You answer to a fan base, and the last thing you want is this to get into a Hawkeye basketball situation where apathy starts to set in.
And I think we're getting, like, when you start hearing everybody is saying the same thing. Everybody's like, oh, man, I love Coach Ferentz. But what? But I'm ready for something different. As a fan, I'm ready for something different. Thank you. Build the statue. Do all the things. Get the wins to put you in the record book and solidify that place. And then, I hate to even say it. I watched it, and this thing popped up on last night. I was having a tough time falling asleep, and I'm sitting there scrolling, and all of a sudden, this thing popped up. It was Hayden Fry. Hayden Fry on Roy Firestone. It was really good. It was a really good. It felt like I was watching a time machine. It felt like I was in my grandpa's living room again.
Roy Firestone.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. And Kirk Ferentz, I'm glad that he has continued that sort of legacy and reputation and all that for the Hawkeyes. But this is frustrating. It's been for all going up. We're north of 5 years now of this same wash, rinse, repeat, wash, or what? Lather, rinse, repeat, lather, rinse, repeat, lather, rinse, repeat. The quarterback sucks. No, the wide receivers suck. No, the offensive coordinator sucks. No, the quarterback sucks. No, the wide receivers suck. No, the offensive coordinator sucks.
You're playing a who's on first with Abbott and Costello with it.
It's this, and the again, like I said on Saturday, it transcends all those names, all of those athletic or offensive coordinators, all of those quarterbacks. Not all of them. Not all. We've had C.J. Beathard. We've had Brad Banks. You've had Ricky Stanzi. You've had Drew Tates. You've had quarterbacks that were good enough to make the plays that elevated the offense to something other than mediocre or bad. Defense played fantastic. Defense played really, really good on Saturday. A lot of bending, but very little breaking. The one touchdown comes on a short field after the picks, after the interception. Almost said pick six.
You did.
And I understand that the interception happens because a receiver falls down, but when you get to Monday, the stat line shows you had an interception. It doesn't say, the stat line doesn't say interception with an asterisk. And that goes on the back of the quarterback, unfortunately. And so Mark Gronowski now not only has the lowest amount of passing yards after 2 games starting for an FBS team in history with 35 more passing attempts. He also has that interception that led to the only touchdown the defense gave up. It's another game, lather, rinse, repeat. It's another game where we go to the locker room and go, damn, Coach Parker deserves better. The defense played good enough to win that game. You can't say they did. The defense played well enough to win that game. Iowa State's got a kicker that can kick the ball from the other 30. They can fair catch a kickoff and try a field goal. They're going to give up some field goals. So the defense played good enough to win. It's another game. Lather, rinse, repeat. 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8, 5-yard out. Lather, rinse, repeat. Come on. 1st down, 2nd, 3rd and 8. You could just say 3rd and 8. What's the Hawkeyes' offensive identity these last 5 years? It's 3rd and 8.
Dusty says, Kirk Ferentz is my guy, but remember though, Beathard almost transferred because he liked Rudock. There's a bit of stubbornness there. There's a lot of stubbornness there.
He had to have his hand forced in order to have C.J. Beathard get an extra year. That's a good point. The quarterback, I think, I like that's the biggest difference. Matt Campbell and Kirk Ferentz are very, very, very similar guys. We talk about this a lot. The way that they talk to the media is very similar. I think Coach Campbell is a little bit more emotional. And like the thing of coming back to the press conference last week, or was that after Dublin, or was that? Remember when he came back in and wanted to? Oh, it was after Dublin.
It was after Dublin.
Yeah, he runs a little bit hotter than Coach Ferentz. But other than that, they're very, very similar guys. The way that they keep things close to the vest, the words that they use, the way they talk about their team, there's not a lot of heaping of praise, but there's never criticism.
I want this to come off right. You had a safe space earlier with
go ahead
with the Phillies.
Okay.
Do we know at this point how good Iowa State is? Meaning, you beat an Iowa team that is average, and this Iowa team is going to be average at the end of the year. They're going to lose probably about 4 more. You destroy a South Dakota team out of the FCS, and you beat Kansas State, which at the time was a ranked team. Kansas State beat North Dakota by 3, and then Kansas State got beat at home by Army over the weekend, Ross. Okay. Meaning, does that Kansas State win look as impressive now as when it happened? Meaning, I think Iowa State's good. I just don't know now after 3 games if we know how good this team is. They're worthy of the number 14 ranking, not taking that away from them. But it's one of those frustrating things where you think it's a great win over Kansas State. You think it's a great win over Iowa. And then you go, well, do we really, really know with what's coming up?
Okay. It is a great win against Kansas State. And it is a great win against Iowa because those are both rivalry games.
Okay.
And huge games. That, again, we can't understate the fact that getting to Dublin and getting a conference win against the team, one of the teams that's supposed to be one of your primary contenders in the Big 12. Kansas State has not fulfilled their end of the bargain here, but remember, a lot of the teams that come back from that Ireland trip have struggled for a while to get the wheels back underneath them. And by the way, that who's to say that can't happen with Iowa State still? You do have a tough schedule. Arizona up next, right? Cincinnati.
You got Arkansas State up next.
Yeah.
And they're the 20+ point favorite against the Red Wolves, and then Arizona after that, and then I believe 2 road games. Cincinnati's in there, and
Colorado. You got
Colorado.
It. Yep. At Arkansas State, Arizona, at Cincinnati, at Colorado.
And Eric's piling on. Iowa State won 11 games last year. Travis returns a ton of players from that team. I get it. I 100, and I think they're a really, really good team. I just look at it and go, okay, for the first 3 games, do we know how good this team is? But they have Rocco back.
I think the answer to this question is yes.
Okay.
Do we know who they are? I guess maybe that deserves more questions. Like, I don't know what. Do we know how good they are? They're good enough to beat Kansas State. They're good enough to beat Iowa. They're good enough to dominate a South Dakota team. And by the way, they beat Iowa. Like they won that football game. The ball didn't bounce. I love how fans do this, dude. You can watch on social media. Iowa and Iowa State fans both think that the officials were against them on Saturday and that the ball bounced the other team's way. Both you can scroll through your social media feeds and do screenshots of Iowa fans. The officials screwed us and Iowa State got all the bounces. And Iowa State fans, the officials screwed us and Iowa got all the bounces. It's wild. I think that we know Iowa State's a really good football team. I think that we know that they've like one of the commenters said or listeners said, they've returned a ton of their starters from a really good football team last year. Safe to say they've got one of the best quarterbacks in college football right now.
100%. Don't disagree with that at all.
They've got a coach who seems to be figuring things out or have figured things out. They're in a conference that's not a world beater. They don't have to go play the Ohio States of the world. The next ranked, they don't have another ranked right now, not another ranked team on that schedule. So I think we do know. They're right now the team that is 3-0 after a tough road trip against a conference foe, a team that handled an in-state rival who's, again, some people were saying 10-win team.
I did like Matt Campbell's message after the game. There was a locker room speech where he says, hey, enjoy this one, but this is not where we want to go. And totally agree with it, right? Is that, and don't buy into the hype, stay focused. It's cliche, one game at a time, but if they keep that mentality, they're gonna be just fine.
I just thought, Travis, are they remember before the K-State game, we had this conversation about, is the K-State game their most important game? And the unanimous response was yes, this is their most important game. You got to get the season started off on a good note. You got to get this leg up on Kansas State. This is a more important game than Iowa. This is a more important game than any of those other Big 12 games. And they won that game. And then if you looked at the schedule, you said, all right, what's their next biggest game? It's Iowa. Got to get Iowa just because now you're going to go 3-0. And now you're really rolling as you go into conference play. Continue this in-state momentum that you've got. Big game. Boom. Knock the first one out of the park. Knock the second one out of the park. So now I look ahead. Now my point being, are they going to benefit from Matt Campbell's point right there of, guys, in a way, each game is going to be hard to get up for Arkansas State, but you're on the road. It's a trap game thing. Are they going to benefit from that constant ascension of how these games, the weight of these games, that Matt Campbell can legitimately say each week, this next week's our biggest game of the year? Because if we lose this one, it was all for naught. Not all. I think they're a really good football team. I think that the schedule lays out in front of them that they can have a special year. And at this point, as a Hawkeye fan, why not hope that they do?
Oh, I want them to. I want this team in the playoff. I want this team to make some noise because they're fun to watch, and it's hard not just to be a Rocco Beck fan. It is. It's. I mean, if you're not a Rocco Beck fan, and you look at Fox Big Noon Kickoff, even the College Game Day guys, Rocco Beck is ascending on the national scene fast because he's a playmaker.
Did you see his dad on Big Noon Kickoff?
Yeah.
He's impressive too. I know he's a head coach, but you kind of, I don't know. He popped on the camera. He looked very comfortable on camera.
515-517-2303. We got an hour in the books. We got an hour to go. I'm going to talk some more college football and some NFL in hour number 2. Also, Gary Presnell going to be joining us at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. Gary's waiting to come on with us. We're going to talk, we'll talk some sports, but we'll talk interest rates and mortgages as well.
There's as much news there as there was in the Cyhawk.
No kidding. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
You've got enough on your plate, so when it's time to reset, grab a Fresca. Bold citrus, zero sugar, zero caffeine. Just clean, crisp refreshment that never goes out of style, whether it's post-work, post-gym, or just a break from the noise. Fresca's got your back. Pick up a Fresca at your local retailer today.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
At Midwest Landscapes and Hardscapes, we know that the only way to do business is the fair way. That means honest quotes, no surprises, and work that speaks for itself. From the first sketch to the final sweep, we keep you in the loop because communication builds trust, and trust builds beautiful spaces. Midwest Landscapes and Hardscapes, fair, skilled, thorough. Just the way it should be.
Cars basically do 3 things. They go, they stop, and they turn. If any of those aren't working right, bring your Infiniti into Willis Infiniti and you'll get $50 off per axle brakes to help it stop, and you'll get $25 off an alignment to help it turn. Then you can go with peace of mind. Give us a call or visit us online at willisinfinity.com to schedule your appointment today.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbox to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you along on a Monday. It is the 8th of September. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, good to have you with us this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and, of course, start leaving your comments in the comment section. You can follow us on X at Rush Mornings, like our Facebook page, The Rush with Travis and Ross, and follow us on Instagram, The Rush Radio Show. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. Of course, Saturday night, we did the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. And one of our partners with the Black and Gold Rush is Gary Presnall, who's also a big supporter of the Rush Radio Show and doing a lot of work with Ross Peterson in the real estate world these days. You two are spending a lot of time together, aren't you?
Trying.
Morning.
Yeah. Ross does a great job.
Oh, and Gary, that audio is a little bit funky for us. It you got a little bit. Maybe just turn your volume down or something for us, if that's okay.
Okay.
That help a little bit?
Yeah, it's good.
I don't think you can hear me though, can you?
Yeah, I got you. We got you.
Loud and clear.
Yeah. Well, I can't hear you guys now.
Go ahead and turn us back up.
Can you go to your phone?
Yeah. I'm on.
Oh boy.
Hang on.
Gary, let's do this. Yeah, because we've lost him altogether now, haven't we, Trav?
There he is. There he is. You hear us now, Gary?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
I can hear you, buddy.
Okay.
All right. First, hey, you were at the. Did you get up to Ames yesterday? I know you're a big Hawkeye fan. You usually are at in Kinnick. Did you get up to Ames on Saturday?
No, I watched it from my comfort of my home.
All right. Thoughts as a Hawkeye fan?
I think they gave our quarterback plenty of time to throw. I think our biggest problem is I don't think our receivers can get open.
Yeah.
There's no doubt this guy can throw the football. I mean, he's thrown for over 10,000 yards. I think he's good. He's getting protection. He just our receivers just can't get separation.
Gary, you're the type of guy that you feel better because I'm like this. I like to watch the game alone. I like to be just being on TV. I'm done going to stadiums, being around people because I either become irritable or I just want to dial in. Do you like watching a game at home better? I do.
Well, if it's at Kinnick, I'd rather be there. But certainly this particular game, I like to watch at home.
Gary, we did have some news happen with interest rates right at the end of last week. It seemed like there was a dip in interest rates. I started to see a little bit more action and activity. It didn't blow the doors off the place, but I did see some movement. Good trending, good trend for us.
Yep, it is. Actually, rates dropped under 6%. I don't know if people know that. That's what I've always thought is that if we could get rates under 6%, that would really spark the market, and I think things would really start to take off. And so we'll see what happens this week, but business has been somewhat steady. I think this will really help. We had 2 consecutive months where the labor market has shrunk, and that's prompted interest rates. Well, actually, what happened last week with the drop in rates, Investors in the market is already starting to price in the fact that the Fed will lower rates when they meet again.
Wow.
They've already priced it into the market. So they're anticipating at least 1/4 to 1/2% drop in the Fed rate. Now that doesn't mean mortgage rates drop like that, but that's an indication of what might be for us.
Oh, there you are. That now I don't know what just happened, but that sounds a lot better all of a sudden. That's great.
Okay, good.
All right, Gary, so we have been working on a few different deals and we're trying to get a couple people under contract right now. And last week we had a conversation about buying down points. And Travis and I were just kind of talking about this before we came on the air. And Travis was asking some of that, like, what does that look like? What does that mean? How do you explain that to like a first-time home buyer? What's the advantage or disadvantage? What is that? What does that look like?
Yeah. So buying points or buying down the interest, generally you pay 1% of your loan amount. So if you had $100,000 loan amount, you pay 1% or $1,000, and typically on a regular daily market, that buys the interest rate down 1/4%. Now, if you don't think rates are going to drop here in the next couple years, that would probably be a wise decision. But if you think rates are going to drop, that's probably a waste of money, because there's what's called a break even. Once you pay money to drop the interest rate, you got to take what the difference is in payment and divide that into what it cost you, and then you get your break even. Sometimes it's 2-3 years before you break even from what you've paid for the reduction in the payment. So my philosophy and my counsel to borrowers is that I think rates are going to drop a lot here in the next year or two. So paying points at this point, I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. Yeah, just refinance, right? I mean, if something comes in, just refinance a loan.
Yep. And generally what we do is we do a no-cost refinance for people, because people don't want to pay, their closing costs twice. So what we try to do is absorb that and get people a lower interest rate without having to pay closing costs again.
Do you see? I've always gone with the philosophy that the busiest times to buy a home and do all this stuff is spring, summer, and then fall, and then things drop off in the winter just because it's not green outside anymore. Nobody wants to do home improvements inside. Do you see that as you go through your mortgages? Go, okay, I know I'm going to be busy April through October, and then does it slow down, or is that just a myth that I have in my head?
No, that's true. If we get some good weather, December, January, February, you got people out there looking for homes. So it kind of is weather related. But boy, if we get some interest rates that drop, I don't care if it's 2 feet of snow. People are going to get out there and buy homes.
Gary, thanks for giving us time this morning, buddy. Let's do this from time to time. Okay, Travis, you got more for it? You got another?
I just want to ask Gary, so if you're buying a new home or if you want to refinance, what's the best way to get a hold of you, Gary?
Yeah, best way to do it is just call my cell phone. That's always on. So that number is 515-975-6767. And you can always find my website, but just calling my cell phone is the best way to get a hold of me.
And if you're lucky enough, you become friends with Gary. And then if you're really lucky enough, on one of his free days, you can convince him to join your foursome, and he's a ringer.
Thanks, Ross. You're
trying to get you some free golf, Gary. I figure somebody's going to reach out and say, hey, I'd like to refinance a loan, but also, can you come hit a few drives down the middle of the fairway for me?
You know what? I wish I was as good as your boss, Mark.
Oh, well, let's get that out. We'll put that to the test.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, buddy.
All right, Gary.
All right.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Gary Presnell joining us on the Rush Radio Show. Of course, a proud supporter of the Rush Radio Show and the Black and Gold Rush that we do every Saturday from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
I was supposed to golf with him next Wednesday. Is the UNI basketball outing. I've golfed with Gary in that the last several years. But next Wednesday, or I'm sorry, the event is next Wednesday. No. The Willis event's next Tuesday. Wednesday morning after the show, I drive to Canada.
Ooh, look at you. Who's excited?
I got a text yesterday from Gary up on the island, said he caught 1 million walleye.
1 million?
Million. It's an official number. Million.
Watch, you're going to get up there and they're not biting.
You should have been here last week.
That's how they get you. They throw it. Ross takes the bait.
Every time.
For some teams, we are 3 weeks into the college football season, like Iowa State. For others, we are 2 weeks into the college football season. And Rosh, I know it's early. But the hot seat is getting hot for some coaches in college football. And let's start with Billy Napier at Florida.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Billy Napier at Florida, and already people are saying they don't know how he's going to save his job. Give South Florida some credit. South Florida is going to be one of those group of 5 schools that may be there at the end, and they've got some good wins already. Winning at Florida was substantial. Billy Napier is now 1-1, and people are already saying you're done. You are absolutely done.
And it's more than just this one loss to South Florida.
It's the last couple years. He's done enough to keep his job.
There you go. And then you lose a game like this when when we talked about hot seats, I feel like he was one of the guys that you even mentioned, Travis, as like a potential to keep an eye on. I mean, Luke Fickell's the guy that we're all watching.
But Wisconsin's 2-0 right now. So, I mean, that's kind of calmed down a little bit. But when you lose to South Florida and you're playing at home and you are Florida, let's be honest, Florida has almost Alabama and Nebraska expectations. Not saying
they're that good.
But
they do.
The fan base has those expectations.
And Travis, have you looked at Florida's schedule? Because this is why this game was so important. Beating South Florida really mattered, not just because you're Florida. You're the Florida Gators. You're not supposed to lose to the South Florida. Are they the Bulls?
The Bulls.
Who supposed to lose to the South Florida Bulls?
Who opened up at home with a big win over Boise State. Remember, they
good football team. Good team. Yes. This is one of those perception things. Florida's not supposed to lose to South Florida ever. Travis, here's who they've got coming up. This is why that game really mattered. It's not just it's all of that. It's the perception of losing to South Florida. This is why that matters. Next week they're at LSU.
Oh.
Then they're at Miami. Then they host Texas. Then they play at Texas A&M.
They could lose all those.
Oh, they're going to lose all 4 of those. Those are 4 top 15 teams. 3 of those are on the road. The one team that you get at home is Texas, who's going to have some stuff to prove. And after that, dude, they only played 2 teams that aren't ranked in the top 25 all season. The rest of the season. They played 2 teams that aren't ranked in the top 25. Those? Mississippi State.
But by the way, Mississippi State might be ranked. I mean, they beat
Nibbling on being ranked. The other one's Kentucky. They play Georgia, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Florida State. All of those top 20 teams. The lowest ranked team they play is Ole Miss.
Florida may have a losing record or will have a losing record at the end of the year, and Billy Napier will be out of a job.
So I'm guessing, Travis, looking at that, he probably doesn't make it to October because you're going to lose to Miami. You're going to lose to LSU. You're going to lose to Miami. Both of those are on the road. There's a chance he doesn't coach another game at home.
5-5.
Here's the other. Let's look at this. The other side of the opportunity here. Win one of those games, and that's Billy. Oh, Billy boy. God, we're glad we got you, Billy.
And you have to make changes faster now because of the transfer portal and everything that you have to build towards next season. Before we get into more coaches on the hot seat, 515-517-2303. We knew he was going to call. He's going to gloat. Let's go to New Sharon. That's where Derek is. Derek, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
I am having one hell of a Monday, fellas. That's the best part about being on the fork truck. I can just search out them Hawkeye fans. Oh, man, this is great. We play like crap and still beat you.
Did you play like crap?
Man.
Did you play like crap? I don't think you played like crap.
Well, there's a few drop balls and that muff punt. We got to get it together. Our defense was outstanding. I did look up on Wikipedia. Gronowski is an old Polish name, loosely translated to way overrated.
Hey, when you say you're searching out Hawk fans while you're on the forklift, what do you mean?
Oh, I know every Hawk fan in here that I've heard it over. I've been here 30 years, people, running this damn company. I know every Hawkeye fan in here. I've heard it all this time.
Do you drive the forklift around like using the beep, trying to do the Iowa State fight song? Can you do that on the beep?
I'm not that talented. I never was in band. But hey, I'm thinking I'm here to help out Kirk because I feel sorry for Kirk. I'm thinking next year we can just get all the quarterbacks lined up in the portal, put their faces on a big board, and I'll just cover my eyes and I'll throw a dart, and you go after that guy. That'll be a better way to pick. And I'm thinking Conradi is going to get a statue outside of Jack Trice, but since we budget cuts and we got to have money for NIL, we're just going to be able to afford his right leg. I think it'd be like Clemson when they touch the rock. We just come into the stadium and touch his right leg.
All right, Derek.
Boy, this is going to be a great week, a great year. I got more verbal assaults to hand out, people, and a company to run, so I got to go.
All right. See you, Derek.
When he says
that was going to happen, right?
Out Hawk fans, I didn't know what he meant, but literally driving the forklift around to go to the Hawk fans.
Yeah. So we got Billy Napier on the hot seat. And another one that is on the hot seat is Mike Gundy. Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State is in his 20th season. He has this interesting relationship with the administration. T. Boone Pickens isn't there to save him anymore. He's a former Cowboy quarterback, but the last couple of years have been disappointing to say the least. Ross, they gave up, 62, 68 to Oregon. The worst loss of the Gundy era. You have the most points they've given up since like 1905 or something like that. This is another, much like Kirk Ferentz. And I'm not saying Kirk Ferentz isn't on the hot seat. He never will be. He'll be able to depart on his own terms. I don't think Mike Gundy's is as lucky because of that relationship with the administration. Kind of his attitude. I'm a Mike Gundy fan, just to let everybody know. I mean, I like Mike Gundy, but this is a case where sometimes you can wear out your welcome. You can wear out your welcome.
Man, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, Trav. And that's wearing out your welcome after 20 years is weird. You know what? That maybe that hits a little close to home, honestly. Being very vulnerable here. I did that. I wore out my welcome. And I do think that Mike Gundy, as much as he's an institution there, T. Boone was a big part of that. T. Boone liked his attitude. T. Boone liked the cut of his jib, right? Like there was just something. Those guys were peas in a pod in some way. I'd like to think that after that many years, you've got that sort of clout, right? But and it's easy to look at Kirk Ferentz and say those things we just said about Kirk Ferentz. Man, I want Kirk Ferentz to walk out on his own sword. I want him to be able to say, "This is the day I'm leaving," and walk out. If Kirk Ferentz, if the wheels completely fall off the cart, Beth Getz has to fire him.
What would be fall off the cart?
If the Hawks win 2 games this year. Win one
Okay.
more game. And I mean, like, I don't think that happens. I don't. I think this is a decent Hawkeye football team. I think the defense is fantastic. The offense has a lot of good things about it. It's just a Kirk Ferentz offense, and we're gonna have to live with that for another year. But they'll beat UMass by 45, and we'll think everything is great next week. But for Mike Gundy, man, let me give you the difference between the two. Mike Gundy's 58 years old. Kirk Ferentz is 70.
Dude. So that's the difference. Even though he's been there 20 years, he's 58 years old, and you're like, oh, he's got a lot of coaching left in him. He's got for sure 10 years left in him. If he wants to do that.
I think that's there's a part of me, Travis, that it is that which is more important, the ship or the parts? It's the ship of Theseus thing. I want to believe that the parts matter. I want to believe that when you're a part of a machine, you matter. Mike Gundy has been a part of the Oklahoma State machine, and he will be thrown overboard, and they'll put a new part in place, and the ship will keep sailing. Mike Gundy will probably have to get fired.
Well, because as much as it's weird to say, but you look at the Big 12 now, and Oklahoma State's saying there's no reason not to be competitive. There's no reason not to be in the mix of things. And his innovative offense, everything is just not there. And it hasn't been for the last couple of years. The decline has happened. They seem to not have adapted well to the portal, to the NIL.
Yeah.
All sorts of things.
Yeah. Travis, those are great points there about how with the Big 12 changing, that absolutely changed the expectations of Iowa State. And look at how Matt Campbell and Jamie Pollard and the athletic department responded there. Took advantage of that changing tide. And you nailed it there. Like Oklahoma State did not adapt. And maybe Mike Gundy specifically didn't adapt. I mean, they haven't had many portal wins. You don't see, again, proof is in the pudding. They haven't been winning games.
The other hot seat that I have, and it'd be interesting to see if he lasts the year as well, even though he's in year 2, is Deshaun Foster at UCLA. You get Nico Imalavala, which is considered a portal win. You lose your opener. You get drilled in your opener. And then you get beat by UNLV. You've got the quarterback. Nico's got to be going, what did I do? I left Rocky Top. I left 107,000 people. I left being a ranked team. I left going to a college football playoff. And I've gone to a dumpster fire.
Grass is not always greener.
It's not.
These are the stories I think that are going to, this is why I've said, let this stuff, the free market's going to figure this out. The market's going to, things are crazy. Everybody's screaming about it's the Wild West. It's the end of college sports. It's the end of college football. No, it's not. It's a wild time, and things are going to figure it out because things like this are going to happen. The next time a quarterback wants to leave a big institution and take a paycheck, somebody in his life is going to go, hey, look at what happened to Nico Imalavala. You should Google that name. And I think that the next time big money wants to go to a quarterback that's on the free market, you can look around and go, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Because look what you would have thought then if that's the case, the Hawks would have learned from giving Cade McNamara a bunch of money and not getting the return. But they went out and gave a bunch of money apparently to Mark Gronowski. So maybe not. Maybe the free market won't. Maybe it'll just take some time. I don't know.
You're going to learn a lot about somebody if winning and be part of a great team is important or making a lot of money is important. And if you're Nico Imalavala, does that being on a really bad team, does that hurt his draft stock? I don't think it does, because at the end of the day, he'll do workouts. They'll see he was able to win with Tennessee. You give a guy with talent. I don't think it hurts his draft stock. Maybe a little bit, but I think when you do workouts for the pros, they see your footwork, they see your arm strength, all that stuff. they're going to do their own evaluations. But it would suck to go from Tennessee to UCLA and be as bad as they are. I mean, UCLA ended last year on a high note. Even though they had a losing record, they beat Iowa. They won at Nebraska. I think they won 4 of their last 5. But the start of this year has just been disastrous. And losing at UNLV is not good. Not good. I mean, it's just hard to think that we're 2-3 games into the season and we're already going, these coaches may not survive a couple more weeks.
And Deshaun Foster's might be because of the expectations of bringing in a new talent that isn't providing the results it needs to provide.
And maybe spending money they didn't have. It's not like UCLA is in a great financial situation.
I hadn't even thought about it from that angle. Travis, you're right. I don't think this affects Nico's draft status, though. With quarterbacks specifically, I think as long as you can perform, as long as you've got those kind of measurables, metrics, whatever, that's the same thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFL that came from bad football teams.
Absolutely. And came from small colleges or bad colleges or whatever. So coming from UCLA and playing Big Ten football, and by the way, got to perform. He's still got to play well. But I don't think I'm with you. I don't think that playing at Tennessee or UCLA necessarily affects your status too much as a quarterback. Does it affect other positions? Do you benefit, like if you're if you go to Alabama, you go to Ohio State, you were a stud anyway. Did the college help you that much? Wide receiver, fake Bob Vanderplots writes in, wide receiver is a position that you benefit from the school you go to. Do you know who Bob Vanderplots is, Travis?
Yeah, the religious dude, right?
Yep. Family.
Keep Iowa Christian or something like that?
The family leader? Maybe something like that. I got to know Bob pretty well during my time in the politics world. Didn't know fake Bob Vanderplots. So, yeah, I think that Nico's going to be just fine playing over there. And, by the way, I don't think this affects him. Like some people would say, well, him leaving Tennessee is going to hurt his draft stock because it'll show that he didn't have any loyalty to blah, 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 Caleb Williams.
Of those 3 coaches I just named, who's the first to get fired? I think it's Napier. Just because of the schedule that's coming up, I think Napier's the first to go.
So I didn't look at the other ones. I think knowing what's coming for Florida, I want to say it's pretty easily Billy Napier because that they are going to lose their next 4 games. More, I mean, and so if you lose if you win one of those next 4, I think that's enough to save your job.
If you get blown out against LSU, because LSU is next, and then you lose to in-state rival Miami, and you get trucked by Miami.
I mean, dude, those are both top 5 teams.
Exactly.
South Florida's really good. Alex Golesh, we talked about South Florida last week after they won. And that's a former Matt Campbell assistant coach running that team down there, and they're going to be good. Yeah, I think it's probably Napier without even looking up the Oklahoma State or UCLA schedule. I'll put my money there.
515-517-2303. Oh, a little thing happened yesterday. The NFL season got underway. We'll kind of go through some of those games and some other things happening in Cleveland. It was raining dildos in Cleveland. We'll discuss when we come back on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Hi, I'm Josh Romick, Service Manager at Willis Lexus. And I want to take a moment to share our smoking hot deals we got going on for the month of August. Right now we got a 20% discount on brake pads and rotors, and also a 50% discount on alignments with the purchase of 4 new tires. That's a $90 value. And don't forget to ask about our Lexus Tire Price Match Guarantee. Give us a call to schedule or visit us online at willislexus.com. Thank you for watching and stay cool.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Hey, it's Marion over at Land Rover of Des Moines. With all those summer miles and any last-minute road trips you have before school starts, come on down and get an alignment for $179.95 and $25 off an oil change. Give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
Rush, strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. I mentioned that we do the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. Don't forget about the Iowa Lottery Weekly Woo-Hoo here on the Rush Radio Show. Coming up on Friday, it's your chance to win a prize pack valued at $90 just by telling us what your weekly woo-hoo is. And the prize pack includes Scratch Match and Win Jurassic World and Iowa Blackout Scratch tickets, plus some Mega Millions free play coupons. And don't forget, all these games are part of Iowa Lottery's Play It Again promotions, where you can enter your non-winning tickets into your VIP club account for a second chance to win prizes. And these prizes are really, really good. So for not winning, you can win $100,000. You could win a trip to Hawaii or tickets to an Iowa State football game or an Iowa football game. That simple.
Now I can't hear you, buddy. Yeah, you are.
You know what's really weird?
What's happening with this thing?
You know what's really weird? It happens at the hour and a half mark almost every single day. It's bizarre that it happens almost at the same time every single day.
Weird day. Audrey's moving late on me today. Sorry. She got up slow.
You see there were 2 winning tickets in the Powerball over the weekend?
Yeah, one was in Missouri.
I think the other one was Texas. Even though you're going to split $1.8 billion, is there a part of you that's pissed that somebody else had won? You're like,
I love you. Oh my God, I love you.
You know what I'm saying? You're like,
I never would have thought of that.
It's the first thing I thought of, like, God, I had the winning ticket and somebody else did too? How is that possible?
I've always loved the people that like instantly do the tax math. You know, when you're like, the Powerball is $1.8 billion. And there's always somebody that's like, well, you only really win $900 million. Oh, okay. You know, you could say that's still $1 billion.
Well, now these people are going to be like, well, I got to split $900 million. I'm only going to get $450 million out of this. I could have had $450 million more.
You're telling me at the end of this thing, I'm only going to take home $450 million. I thought I won $1.9 billion.
Government's going to take half of that too.
You know what, Uncle Sam. That's so good. And then I saw, like, I get on the freeway the other day. I saw that the Mega Millions is at like 355 million. And that, again, always reminds me of those old commercials they used to run. Because I see that and I'm like, only 355. Yeah, I mean, you're only gonna clear about 180 million there. That only makes you like the 9th wealthiest person in Iowa.
In Cleveland yesterday, they played the Bengals and they threw dildos onto the field, Ross. Green dildos. It was raining dildos. It's a raining dildos. But you know how the NFL handled it? The referee just threw them off the field. They're not trying to arrest anybody. They're not making a big deal out of it. They're just, the reason it's getting reported is just because, ESPN put it out there. They refuse to call it a dildo. They call it they call it a sex toy.
Is that one of the words you're not supposed to say?
What, dildo?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know why you can't say dildo.
I think on TV it's probably something that they shy away from. I get
that. But when you say sex toy, there's a wide range of sex toys, from what I've been told. From what I've been told, there's a wide range. And if you ever turn on like 3 a.m. if you're up and the Adam and Eve.
What are we doing? What are you doing? Where are you going? Where are you going?
I don't know where I'm going. I'm veering.
I'm stop you. I want to stop you right now. Okay. Bad road.
Sorry. Didn't mean to. Didn't reel me back in, man. Reel me back in.
Here we go. All right. So anyway, NFL yesterday. We do live in one of the strange. I know this is an overused straight, but we do live in one of the strangest timelines. Like the fact that this is something that people are doing for entertainment. Like multiple people woke up on Sunday, decided they were going to go to the opening week of the NFL. And they all and multiple people thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sneak this thing in, and then I'm going to throw it onto the field. Is that going to be hilarious? Isn't this weird?
Yeah, very weird. Because they're not cheap. Or so I've been told.
I love you. I love because they're not cheap. Sorry.
Cincinnati did.
I tried to reel you in.
17-16.
Tried to reel you in. I didn't land the fish, guys. I didn't get the fish all the way into the boat. I let him swim around a little bit. I took the fish for a bit of a walk.
It's pulling me up the side of the boat, and I got loose.
Did you see? Were you watching? Did you see the end of the Falcons Buccaneers game?
I did not see the end of that game.
Dude. It's so funny because here last week we're talking to Kluver about what is the deal with kickers all of a sudden, man? Kickers can strike from 70 yards. We just were joking about it. Conradi can hit from the other 25 type of thing. End of the Buccaneers Falcons game. Buccaneers score with, I want to say, minute left, something like that. And they go up 6 with a chance to kick the extra point to go up 4. Very important extra point because then the Falcons will have to go down and score a touchdown, right? Off the upright. Extra point off the upright. It's a 3-point game. Falcons have a chance. And the Falcons do exactly that. The Falcons get a couple of passes, move the ball down. They get Koo into field goal range, and he misses the game-tying field goal with there was a second or 2 or 4 left where Tampa Bay had to come out and take a knee. But
I'm going to ask this to Todd Stepsis on Thursday when we have him on. And you and I got beat pretty badly out at Wyoming over the weekend. But I want to ask Todd Stepsis because I'm starting to think, Ross, if I were to build a college football team or a football team that is competitive. So let's start at the college level, go to the pro level. I'm going to start with a quarterback. Quarterback, it matters to everything. Now, we can break it down. Now you need an offensive line. I get that. But if I want 2 things on my team, and I want to ask Stepsis this, and he can tell me that I'm wrong. I want a quarterback first, and I want a kicker second.
Well, of course.
Well, because, I mean, you wouldn't think a kicker until you don't have one. How long? Well, I mean, Iowa State didn't have one for a long time.
That's a really good point, Trav. That's a really good point. But quarterback is the most important position.
100%. That's why I'm starting with the quarterback.
That's but a good question. A good question is, where does that kicker come into play? That's a really good question for a Stepsis who's been at different levels. That's a really good question for a Joe Woodley. Because I've seen Grandview have some. Here she is. She made it. Look, and this getting better, isn't it, Trav? You're bruised.
Wow, look at that. It's getting better. It's getting better.
Go brush your hair, okay?
But
it is?
was brushed.
Okay. Oh, sorry. It was brushed. So those guys at that level, that's a tough question about, like, where does that fall on your priority list? You got to have you got to have a good kicker. You got to have a guy that's going to make extra points you can count on. Got to have a kicker that you can count on from about 25, 30 yards out. You'd like to have a kicker that's got a little bit of a leg. I think it's way behind quarterback.
I don't disagree with you, but do it. I want to make sure you have stability at kicker.
Yes.
Because
Iowa State's a great example. Iowa State's like best example. That's a great thing to say. Like, look at what happened with Iowa State for years when they couldn't make field goals.
That's early in Matt Campbell's career. It's like just no consistency at kicker. You get Conradi, and now you're like, okay, that's automatic. We can go from 60. If he doesn't make it from 45, we're like, what's wrong? But I'm going to ask Stepsis that, and then we'll try to get Joe Woodley on this week too, just because they're going to go up to South Dakota State this weekend and take on the Jackrabbits in that game. Speaking of kickers, you had the Bills have a walk-off kick last night to beat the Ravens 41-40, scored 16 unanswered as the Bills won at home last night. But it was Aaron Rodgers who was in the news yesterday, Ross. The Steelers beat the Jets 34-32. Aaron Rodgers with 4 touchdown passes, and he just says, hey, it's a reminder that I can still play the game. It's the Jets, but
listen, and I think who knows about I don't know what that means with it being the Jets. Literally, I think that's one of those things of you got to give that time to figure out how good the Jets truly are. But Aaron Rodgers having a little bit of gas left in the tank. Aaron Rodgers being able to come out, and especially week 1, I'm not blown away by this. Quarterback is the thing about having everybody else around you. Two things. Number one, let's see. It's a really good first week. There's a chance Father Time wins this race, and Aaron Rodgers slows down as the year goes along. There's a chance we see a George Foreman thing here. You know what I mean? Where at the end of his career, he's got some brilliance left. You know, they say that a motor runs best right before it blows. Maybe that's what we're seeing. I don't know. I think the important thing is we'll see.
Brock Purdy had 2 touchdown passes yesterday, 2 interceptions. The 49ers did get the win over Seattle. I hope our former producer, Justin, is doing okay. He's a big Seahawks fan. He was tweeting all day yesterday. But Purdy lost George Kittle in the first quarter. George Kittle goes down with a hamstring injury. They're going to give him an MRI today, I believe it is. So Kittle's kind of, it's one of those things. The longer you play in the league, your body takes a beating, man. It takes a beating. You're not guaranteed anything. You hate to see George Kittle go out, but Brock Purdy was kind of shorthanded anyway, even without Kittle, but even to start the game. But the 2 interceptions a little alarming, but the 2 TD passes. Now that he's got a big money contract. I think he delivered yesterday.
I would agree. Made a couple of plays. That touchdown to Kittle was not. He had a couple of nice plays on that drive. That I thought that same thing. This is, again, man. It's Brock Purdy. He makes plays. He has that ability. He's got that kind of wiggle thing about him. That makes him tough to find. He's smart on his feet. Yeah, I was happy to see that yesterday. Got the touchdown to Kittle. That's always fun to see. And I do hope Kittle's okay because, man, he's a guy that's just a fun dude to root for.
Yeah, and I think that's you hit the nail on the head with George Kittle. Throw in the fact that he's a former Hawkeye, but he has that personality, right? You're just like you want to root for the guy because he approaches everything with just happiness, or doesn't. Obviously, he takes the game serious, but it's almost like, hey, I got to play a game for a living, and that's what you want to see out of guys. Just guys having fun.
I think that's a good one for. This is like a challenge. Do Cyclone fans appreciate George Kittle? Do Hawkeye fans appreciate Tyrese Halliburton? Is Halliburton the basketball equivalent to Kittle?
Ooh.
Is that fair? Like, I just see him as a fun guy.
That's a good question.
Tyrese, kind of in a silly way, embraced that anti-hero thing during the playoffs, though, didn't he? With the whole dad situation, and I don't know. I think that they're very similar. I think that they both they seem to enjoy life. They've always got big smiles on their face. They don't seem to take things too seriously.
Personable.
Very.
Tyrese was on Big Noon Kickoff on Fox, and I thought he did a good job. I think Hawkeye fans. That's a good question, and I don't want to speak for an entire fan base, but to answer your question, I think it is yes and yes. I do think that Cyclone fans appreciate George Kittle, and maybe more so because Brock Purdy is his teammate now.
Oh, that's true, and probably the Iowa thing helps. I mean, being an having all of the connections to the state,
yeah, and being friends with Caitlin Clark, all those, yeah. But they have fun with the rivalry. So I think Iowa State fans, Iowa fans appreciate Halliburton, and so I think there's mutual respect there. So, Davey Johnson passed away at 82. Did you see that?
Oh, you saw? I didn't. Not until I saw the rundown. I woke up this morning and you depressed me, letting me know that Davey Johnson died. I think of Davey Johnson as the Mets manager from the 80s. That he was Dwight Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, that team with Howard Johnson and Ray Knight, Mookie Wilson. Lenny Dykstra.
Well, the 86 World Series with the Mets. He was the manager of the year, I think, in 2011. Never really got back to. He got the Nationals to the playoffs, I think, that year. I think they won like 98 games, got to the playoffs, but he was kind of a journeyman after the Mets. I think he did the Orioles, did the Nationals.
It's funny, Travis, when you just said he was manager of the year in 2011, like you brought back a flood of memories there. That was with the Nationals. And he was the Orioles manager during most of the 90s I kind of forgot about that. Honestly, when I saw Davey Johnson, I just see him in a Mets uniform. I just see that 1986 World Series team. I kind of forgot about all of his years with the Orioles and the Nationals. Man.
I was reading about him today, and I did not know this. He might have been at the beginning stages of analytics, and that when he was working with Earl Weaver back with he would punch in how to optimize a lineup card into the computer. So he was putting this stuff in using AI. It wasn't AI, but they were just taking percentages, all this stuff, and to optimize a starting lineup. And that's when he was an assistant, I believe, under Earl Weaver. And I mean, that's going back to the 80s.
First of all, I didn't know. Well, that'd be Earl Weaver. You're going in the 70s, right?
Yeah, 70s.
Man, Trav, now I want to look into this. You might send me down a little bit of a rabbit hole here, because you remember what Earl Weaver was known for? Earl Weaver, it was wait for the home run. Earl Weaver didn't steal bases. And that's basically, I mean, he was playing 20-25 baseball. Holy cow, wait a minute. That had to just been by chance, right? I mean, the fact that Earl Weaver's philosophy was kind of like, hey, we're better off just sitting back and waiting for the big shot. That's kind of what Earl Weaver's one of the things he was known for, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm misremembering that.
Maybe not, but help me out here. When I was growing up, it was always the American League was the power league. Like you would wait for the home runs. The National League was the small ball. They would steal bases. They would bunt. There was a distinct difference between the two leagues. Or am I just making that up in my head?
No, I think
that's the way I remember it.
Dude, Earl Weaver was often quoted as saying pitching, defense, and the 3-run homer. That's and that's an analytics thing. That's absolutely a 2025, don't steal bases, I shouldn't say 2025, 2020. Late teens when baseball was awful. Of don't do anything dangerous. Everybody just sit back and swing for the fences. Man, was Davey Johnson a part of that? That's wild. I didn't even know I didn't know there was a Davey Johnson Earl Weaver connection.
Yeah, well, he played for the Orioles. Davey Johnson did.
Yes, he did.
So he played 13 seasons in the bigs.
Holy cow.
So this is Ross's homework assignment today. As soon as we get off the air, he's going to take Audrey to school, and then he's going to come back, go down an Earl Weaver, Baltimore Oriole rabbit hole, and come back
Davey
with
Johnson. I'll come back on Davey Johnson because I kind of forgot all about Davey Johnson. Man, again, I kind of feel bad. I'm having one of those Bill Buckner moments. Like Bill Buckner should be known for much more than letting a ball go through his legs in the World Series. Davey Johnson should probably I should have, as a baseball fan, there should be more in the Davey Johnson memory file than 1986. But that 1986 Mets team, there's a 30 for 30 about them. That's a fascinating group of dudes, man. That's a fascinating group of guys. Because you had crazies on that team, like Lenny Dykstra. And then you had super religious guys like Gary Carter. And the druggies like Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry. And you had guys that everybody thought was crazy but weren't, like Kevin Mitchell. Like there's a ton of characters on that team. Jesse Orozco, Keith Hernandez.
I always use Jesse Orozco in my Nintendo game when I play. I remember getting to Grandview.
He threw sidearm.
Through the sidearm. You're like, I'm bringing in Jesse Orozco.
That's great. I love it.
He was my pitcher.
RBI baseball.
Yes.
That's funny that's what I remember. Did Jesse Orozco even throw sidearm?
I don't know.
But in the game he did, didn't he?
He did. Almost submariner, almost Kent Tekulve, Dan Quisenberry like. You're like, I don't remember that in real, but I'm going to use him here.
Keith Hernandez was a wild one.
Yeah, you look back at that roster, and it was a mixed bag of extreme talent, but personalities
in
and
New
lifestyles.
York City in the mid '80s, and Davey Johnson corralled it enough. That right there deserves an award in itself.
You're like, how do I survive this?
We're missing somebody on that team. There's another face in there that's a wild character. It's somewhere. Must be another pitcher or something because can't think of the middle infield. Gary Carter would have been the catcher. Keith Hernandez is at first. Ray Knight's at third. You had the outfield would have been Kevin Mitchell and Lenny Dykstra, Darryl Strawberry. I'm missing somebody in there that I'm like, oh, that guy was another crazy part of the mixture. But anyway, wild team. Norm Charlton was on that team. I want to look that up now. I need to do the Davey Johnson, Earl Weaver rabbit hole because that's really cool that he was into the analytics, punching lineup cards into the computer in the 70s. That's neat. That's definitely way ahead of your time. I didn't know that.
Well, it's smart enough to go, okay, we're keeping these statistics for a reason. We know what a guy's batting. When you put them all together, what does that look like, right? It doesn't seem so innovative now, but it is.
Do you remember the book that was called? Anyway, there's a story out there about Tony Gwynn used to take like suitcases of VHS tapes because he wanted to watch the pitchers that he was going to be facing. Watch video of them. And that was back in the 80s when it was like, you're doing what? He's like, yeah, I'm using all this tape, and then I watch the pictures, and then I get a better idea of how to hit against them.
And now you can just walk into a batting cage and throw the pitcher up onto a screen, and he's throwing to you.
Now you don't go up. You don't go up there without seeing videotape of it, and he was way ahead of his time on that.
Big plans today? What are you doing today?
Wally Backman, by the way, Scott, thank you. That's the name we were missing. Middle infielder, that was crazy. Wally Backman. Plans today, got a couple things. Getting real close, trying to help a buyer get into a house. We're getting real close on one. So probably going to spend my day looking at a few houses, making a decision, writing a contract on that. I did photos on a house that I'm not happy with, so I want to do a reshoot there. Got to get that booked.
Do you tell a photographer, listen, I don't think you did a very good job. Go back and retake them?
Yeah. Yep, you have to do that. Call and say, hey, I'm not happy with this. I don't think you got enough of the stuff. Can I come back with you? And yeah, it's uncomfortable, but some of my day is making uncomfortable conversations. It's calling people to tell them that you're canceling an offer, or calling people to tell them that you lost out on an offer, or that they don't like our offer and they want to reject it, or you got an offer and it's much lower than you were hoping. Because Travis, in the state of Iowa, I have to present all offers. So, like, if you even say to me, "Hey, man, I want to sell my mom's house. I want to sell it for $200,000," don't even call me if somebody offers me less than $180,000. And somebody calls and says, "Hey, we'd like to pay $160,000 for that house." I have to call you. Say, "Hey, I know you told me not to do this, but here's the deal. We did get an offer. It sucks. It sucks."
Just turn it down now.
Create the safe space. And
you've been all about safe spaces today. All about safe spaces. Started with the safe space of kind of finding something weird with Phillies Karen.
I shouldn't even have gone down that rabbit hole. I should have just kept that part in my stupid brain.
But it's okay.
But something's weird with that.
Something's weird. All right.
Patrick wants to know, why don't they ever photo the garage? Because that's where people store all their stuff.
Yeah.
Patrick.
They've cleaned the entire house and they've shoved it in the garage. I can show you my garage right now, and it's not something that I would put on
It's
on
horrible
display.
to say this. Houses that are lived in are hard to sell. Houses that are cleaned up and looking nice and all the crap is stuffed in the closets and garages, that's how you sell a house.
Make sure to enjoy your day with something cool and refreshing from Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Get a body armor, get a Coca-Cola, get a core power like Ross.
It helps me crush a pot of coffee every day.
A full pot. We're not talking a half pot. We're talking a full pot of coffee.
Gone.
You get 26 grams of protein, get the 42 grams of protein. Great Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company's products. Enjoy them. We do. Hell, Ross had a Fresca during the Black and Gold Rush.
I had a Fresca last night. I'm laying in bed. I'm like, I'm kind of parched. I went down, cracked open a grapefruit Fresca, couple of sips. Refreshing.
It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.
It's Body Armor. Real hydration with electrolytes. No artificial dyes and coconut water. Choose better. Body Armor.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time first-time homebuyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines. It's August, and while most of Iowa has shifted their attention to corn dogs and butter cows, us here at Mini of Des Moines are still focused on making sure your Mini is running properly and well maintained. Please give us a call or schedule your appointment online at miniofdesmoines.com.
Bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.